At number 40 on the Iconic 100 list is the 2009 Bowman Chrome Mike Trout card. And we're happy today to have Suze Yanks Chick from Instagram and Twitter, Susan Lajudai here to talk about this card. Suze, I think this is Trout's first card. Is it, how do you feel about this card in terms of how iconic it is?
Did you say it was number 40 on the list?
It's number 40.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with this is too high. And because I think his 2011 Topps Update rookie card should be ahead of this card. I have no problem with it being on the list. It's a beautiful card. But his when you talk about iconic cards, like his 2011 Topps Update is a more iconic card than his 2009 Bowman Chrome. Yeah, value-wise, yeah, the Bowman Chrome is worth more money. But when it comes to like iconic-ism, I don't know where it is, or like even sentimental, like for sentimental, like it's his 2011 Topps Update. So I'm a little surprised that this is that high on the list.
Yeah, I am too. I am too. I think what happens sometimes is people look at different elements of something and they define the word iconic in different ways, right? And so the great thing about 2009 is you get the autograph version and you get that it's his first card. And to some people, that is just the ultimate crucial thing. But in terms of which card is more recognizable, right? Which one is the one that you see more often and things like that. I think it's clearly 2011, but I just think as people look at the survey and they ask these questions, I think probably what happened on this one is they said, hey, there's a card that looks like it's higher end. It's an earlier card. I'm going to go with that one. But I think I'm with you on this one. But we've said enough negative about it. Now let's talk about some of the positive things about the card. If you're to take the other side of this, right, and you're to ask the question, how important is it that it is a player's first card? What would you say about that?
Well, I mean, there's that. I mean, for a lot of people, we talk about rookie cards, and for a lot of people, despite the fact with RC logos and, rookie cards are first pack pulled, widely available product, a lot of people view the first Bowman as a rookie card because that is their first card. So it's fair that people think this way. I think, though, for this card, some of the hype also comes from the fact of how much the low parallels have sold for this card. I mean, the Super sold for a ton of money. Red Refractor sold for a ton of money. And when I say ton of money, I'm talking seven figures. Like we're talking $1 million. We're talking $1 million cards here. And I want to say, and I might get this wrong, and it's fine if it is wrong. But his Red Refractor, I want to say one of the earlier ones when it sold for over $1 million was almost at the start of the boom of what everything was happening with the pandemic. And here was this card that like now suddenly caught this attention because like while it was always selling for a lot of money, cards pre-pandemic did not sell for millions of dollars.
Never.
Yeah. You're talking like a handful of cards, like very few, like you could count them on one hand. Post-pandemic, like in the pandemic and post-pandemic, like the fact that cards now regularly sell for $1 million or more, to me personally is insane, first of all. But Trout's on that list, and his 2000, like that 2011 Topps Update, I don't care what parallel you find of that, it's never going to sell for $1 million. But his 2009 Bowman Chrome, yeah, those are like low numbered parallels, like the red and the super. Those are $1 million cards. So I could see why people was like, yes, this is an iconic card because it's. Why would an iconic card not sell for $1 million? I could say, I get that part of it.
I think you've done an amazing job of describing the argument for the other side, even though we know where you stand, and great job on that. I think you've highlighted something that I think is worth really diving into, which is that people consider things that are iconic that they hear about a lot. And this is why when people talk about cards in the hobby, it influences how people think, right? We saw that Trout Superfractor after it sell $1 million times, and seeing that over and over again on ESPN and throughout the different news outlets, I think it influences how we think about what is recognizable, what is iconic, and those two things are synonymous with each other. And so, I love your perspective because you're sitting here going, no, like I'm a card purist. I know the history of it. I know which one's like more meaningful. I get it. And it's Topps and it's the real, like this is the card. And then on the other side of things, there's this other group of people that maybe definitely don't know the set as well, that they don't know the cards as well. And so I just think it's interesting in terms of how it all falls out in the end. And your point about one version of this card or the Topps card, it's never going to be $1 million card in any version. I think that means something, but I don't know. I don't know that it means that it will always be less iconic. And I think the fact that they're virtually tied. I mean, I just looked at the points. They're very close to each other. The difference between 45 and 41 on this list is really slim, right? And so, it is. I would say it's more of a tie than thinking about one way higher than the other. But I'm happy to see it on the list. Still, I think. Considering it's like the second most expensive baseball card ever, it's hard to think that it wouldn't be somewhere on the list. Any other thoughts before we go?
No, I think it's fair. It's funny to think though where that card probably sold in 2009 versus what it is now, because his cards it's funny, his cards when they first came out, they were not expensive. Like today's Bowman cards when they're coming out again, my goodness, people are paying six figures for prospects who haven't even sniffed major league yet. His cards were not selling. I mean, you could have gotten a base Bowman Chrome autograph for under $100 at that time. I remember, sorry, this total tangent, but like I bought a 2009 Bowman Sterling autograph of his for $25. That card is not $25.
How much is that card ish now?
$5,000-$6,000. That's what I say, like that doesn't happen anymore.
No, you don't see 200 X's very often. And that is awesome. Well, again, Suze, really appreciate you covering card number 40, the 2009 Bowman Chrome Mike Trout card. Tomorrow we'll be back with card number 39 on the Iconic 100 list. And until next time, happy collecting.